What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are back for another daily bodybuilding news live. And we have a ton of news stories for you guys today. Is Derek Lunsford the new Mr Olympia Favorite for 2023 after that 2023 Pittsburgh Pro guest posing where he looked absolutely crazy? We've got HD footage of that. Iain Valliere, is his back fixed now? Is the lat problem gone? Michal Krizo looking crazy 5 weeks out. We've got the results of that Pittsburgh Pro as well. We've got women's physique, we've got the bikini, we've got the classic physique, we've got the men's physique, plus much more there. Jay Cutler, what he's looking like now. We've got competitor updates from guys 6 days out of a New York Pro. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. So let's get straight into this one with all the news. And guys, get in the comments if you like this style of video. Give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. That way you won't miss out on any content from Desktop Bodybuilding here and all my coverage of the upcoming contests, including the New York Pro, the Cali Pro, then we've got the Toronto Pro, a whole ton of shows coming at you guys, so make sure you do subscribe. And we've got AK in the comments checking in. Xavier, hope you've had a chill weekend. Yeah, man, it's been great. And here we have Beef Stew as well, whose interview is going up. It's going to be the next video up after this, so make sure you check out that interview with Beef Stew. And he says Derek has got to be the favorite this year. Insanity, which it absolutely is. You can see on the screen right now, and I'll be bringing that to you guys very, very soon as well. And let's get into a few physique updates to start with. And the first one is William Martin's looking absolutely crazy. 350 pounds, nearing 160 kilograms, as it's been stated. I believe he's working with Chad Nichols, as far as I know. This was posted, I think, by his supplement sponsor, or at least a sponsor of his. And this dude has a ton of muscle because he's not short either. When you actually see him like hit a side chest, you think he must be a short bodybuilder. But no, he's obviously not to weigh that amount as well. So 350 pounds, he doesn't have the prettiest physique, but I'm interested to see what he looks like at this weight and coming in shredded as well. Obviously he won't be this weight shredded, but still pretty insane to have a 350 pound bodybuilder that's not, completely blown out fat wise. He's got a ton of muscle. So absolutely crazy. The next physique update is Michal Krizo looking wild 5 weeks out. Now, I mean, you can add graininess to photos, which obviously adds to this level of craziness when you look at it. But at the same time, you can't really add muscle, as far as I know. I'm sure you can stretch out videos if you really want to. But, I mean, this is absolutely nuts. So Michal Krizo looking dangerous 5 weeks out. I believe it's that Spain show he's doing on the IFBB Pro schedule, and I think he's going to be not only dangerous, but I think that he should be obviously the guy that's winning that show, because the only other names I know in that is guys making their pro debut and whatnot as well. And Andreas Rodriguez Fitness says working with the Cedo, right? And I believe you're talking about William Martin's. I mean, William Martin's works with a ton. He was previously working with Cedo, I think. I think he's working with Chad Nichols now, because there's a video he posted 3 weeks ago where he tagged in the Diet Doc, which is Chad Nichols on Instagram. But yeah, Michal Krizo looking absolutely wild. Now I'm going to share my screen because I have some physique updates, some competition info, and all that good stuff for you guys. And I'll go to that now. We've got an update from Jay Cutler. Sorry, I'll just find the screen to share it. Who's looking really good at his the start of his Fit for 50 campaign that he's doing. Let me just share that for you guys. So as you can see, Jay Cutler looking pretty awesome at the start of his Fit for 50. He's got a bit of atrophy in the shoulders there, as you guys can see, but his midsection is looking really, really good. I mean, if my midsection looks like that when I'm 49, 50, I would be incredibly happy. If I had legs like that ever in my life, I'd be very happy as well. But overall, Jay Cutler's looking pretty damn good, and I'm looking forward to seeing maybe a slightly fuller version of this, the same similar sort of conditioning, and then just pump out those shoulders a little bit. He wants a little bit more in his back, and if Jay's working towards it, I'm sure he can get at least some of that back. So Jay Cutler, though, if I had this physique at 49 years of age, I'd be insanely happy. So shout out to Jay Cutler. Go over to his YouTube channel and follow all of his progress. Hey, we've got another Xavier in the chat. Xavier Quinn. I have no idea if that's right, but let me know, dude. Anyway, let's get back to it and let's get back to these physique updates. Now, this is an update from Neil Currey. So he says, announcement. But he tags in Ben Chow on Instagram, Fuad Abiad, and Hostile. He says, announcement. Basically said, these guys gave me the call. We are happy with progress. We'll be running 3 more months off season, then competing in the Open in 2023. Prague and Romania are the shows. They are in November. So I don't believe they will be Olympia qualifiers. Obviously, they would be Olympia qualifiers. What am I talking about? The Olympia's early this year. So he's obviously probably aiming to try to qualify for Mr. Olympia next year. And those shows might be not as well attended as some of these earlier shows because everyone's gunning for that qualification for this year. If there's a ton of names to fit in those shows, I don't know how many are actually going to go, okay, I'm doing the Olympia, and then I'm going to go do these other shows. I mean, I'd love to see like a Brett Wilkin go and do that. I know he's obviously having a baby and whatnot as well, so he might just hit the Olympia and be done. But I think it'd be a smart idea. I think even Brett mentioned something about doing that, but I'm not sure. So it'd be cool to see, Neil Currey match up against the likes of, quality guys like Brett Wilkin, who's going to be a 2023 Mr. Olympia competitor. But yeah, he says now absolutely max out this last 3 months and get as much tissue on as humanly possible. September, we flip the switch and start prep for my Open debut. So I'll be following all of that. He says you don't see many guys move up from Classic to Open. Stanimal has done it, which is Stanimal, Stan Delonge, who is Sean Roden's former training partner and obviously a member of Bodybuilding University, who's competing very, very soon and looks crazy. He says it's a huge leap and massive challenge. I'm going all out for this look and look forward to sharing the challenge with you all over IG and exclusively on Hostile Subs and so on. So very, very interesting. This is his latest physique updates posted 1 week ago. He says physique update around 1 year out from my Open debut. Obviously not a year out. They made the decision after these physique updates to make it this year. So Neil Currey looking very good. This is where he needs the most improvement in terms of mass on that back, in the hamstrings and whatnot. But his shoulders are really good. An insane chest and tiny, tiny waist. Nice quads. His front poses really are sort of lights out. They'll match up with probably the guys in the Open. He just needs a little bit more probably on the side and the back in certain aspects. But overall, I'm looking forward to seeing the Pro Open debut of Neil Currey. But let me know your thoughts on Neil Currey in the comments below. I'm just making sure that you guys are seeing that as well as I am. But obviously, Michal Krizo updates. We saw that previously. And I don't think there's any more. This is from his guest posing, which was the other week. These are the non-photoshopped photos. As you guys saw, all the photoshopped ones. But let's move on to our next physique updates. Let's see if we've got any more video ones for you guys. No. Oh, wait, I do have some more, but we'll get to some other physique updates. First, Jason Lowe, this guy here. Now, he's competed in the 212 for a couple of years. I believe he's in the Open. He competed in the Open last year. He's doing the Toronto Pro, so he'll be up against Iain Valliere. But overall, I'm looking at this. He definitely looks improved. I'm very happy for Jason Lowe as well because there's a few years where he made minor improvements. It seems like he's made a little bit more this year in moving to the Open, if that's what he's doing. I believe he is. And he's got a really unique physique. Like, I actually quite like it. Like, he's got a very, very small waist when you look at it side to side. I don't know if he pushes his shoulders up a bit. If he is, I'd like to see him drop them even more, and maybe we'll make his lats even wider here. But, waist, his quads are pretty decent as well. He's got very thick adductors, which make the legs look very thick. Obviously, big arms. Not as detailed arm-wise, but he does have very big arms, which makes his waist look crazy. Overall, pretty damn balanced. I really like his side shots too. They look really, really good. The back, he needs a little bit more in these. Probably, it's funny because his adductors from front look quite big, but from the back, he maybe looks a little bit more slight in the legs. But there's a fair bit of thickness on that back. Glutes look like they're coming in. You look at the quads here, and you can see the medialis area striated, the outer sweep striated. Midsection is really tight, really small, which I always love to see. And you got some real, that's a really classic shot there. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what this looks like on stage, dialed in, filled out, and yeah, what his physique comes up like there for sure. Now I want to discuss Iain Valliere. Guest posed at the Fuad Abiad Classic over the weekend. Classic even. He says, man, what an awesome crowd at Fuad Abiad. Been 6 years since I last guest posed, and it was at this very show. Felt great to be back up there and chip off some of the ice a few weeks before the Toronto Pro, because he's doing the same show as Jason Lowe, as I just featured. Thank you to everyone who came out. The energy was absolutely incredible. I was really nervous for this guest spot. The second I went out, the crowd just erupted and all my anxiety disappeared. Thank you to Phil Abiad for this opportunity and for your friendship. Now, I'm looking at his back here. I don't know if this is something he purposely wanted to share because it's just one from the crowd and you can only just see his back. There's not too many. I'd like to see some high-res video or photos of this, which is, at Full Show, I'd expect to see some of that sort of stuff coming out at some stage. But you can see there, that's the typical Iain Valliere look. You can't take too much from it because it's a low-res image, but the back definitely does look better because people were critical of Iain, saying that his lower back's disappearing, and that's critical of a few people, to be honest, saying there's issues, whether they're shooting it or whatever. Now, his coach here, and that does look better here to me, but it's harder to tell on a back lat spread. I'd like to see a back double. Now, Matt Jansen, his coach, you can see the top comment now here. No lat issue. Let's keep pushing. So it's got 273 likes. You can see, let's see if there's anything else. I haven't read these comments yet. People are just asking if it's his coach, basically. But yeah, interesting because there's that critique about it. I don't know if you guys think it was much of an issue or if you think there was an issue developing there or what. But overall, I think Iain looked pretty damn good. He's looking pretty damn good in all his recent physique updates. The waist looks tight. And I will get to your comments at the end of this video. So if you are watching live, leave your comments, leave your opinions. And don't just go, he looks good, because I might not know who you're actually talking about once I get to the end of this video. So be specific on that one. And I'll just show you. This was a week ago. So overall, Iain's looking like he's keeping that waist pretty tight. Everything else is huge, so he's going to look good. And Melissa Bumstead, obviously Chris Bumstead's sister, who's his wife. Daddy, drooling, big. Ultimate supporter. I found this photo funny as well. This is from when they were much younger, 11 years ago. So looks strange and absolutely wild. But let's move on. Next update is Ross Flanagan. He's the owner of Flavor Gang, a guy that has made leaps and bounds in his physique. I am so impressed with this. I was impressed last year, even more impressed this year. 6.1 weeks out, which is really 6 weeks. 1 day and 6 days. 1 week and 6 days out from that Cali Pro, obviously. Walk the walk, and then says a little bit there, but you can see the conditioning, the glutes and the hams. The back even looks pretty damn conditioned as well. The separation, the roundness, the bubbliness. I'm very, very impressed. As long as he is full enough, I imagine, and not doing anything crazy last minute, this is going to be a very, very good look for Ross Flanagan. Super, super impressed. Really blow me away at the moment. But let's open it up here and have a look at a few more physique updates, because we get to see a little bit more here. Now, there is a little bit of flatness here, I'd say, in the upper body. Probably overall a little bit of flatness. But I think that he can fill out a little bit more on this and bring the same level of conditioning. Dangerous. Super, super dangerous. This looks really good. He should be flat, really, at this point of a prep. And when I say flat, it doesn't mean he hasn't got a huge amount of muscle. And look at that conditioning. Wow. Like, if he's one of the more conditioned guys on that stage, he can shock anyone because his shape is phenomenal. Good amount of muscle. And, yeah, I think he's going to do very, very well and shock everyone this year, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts on Ross Flanagan. And guy he's going to be competing against is Tonio Burton. This was posted by Classic Blum on Instagram. Look at this physique. This is wild. So this is going to be tough because I actually featured a video where Tonio was posing down next to Ross a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. And Tonio had certain areas that were bigger for sure, like his back was just crazy dense, crazy thick. And this is something that, not many guys in the world will ever get. It's like a Michael Lockett, Dexter Jackson sort of look with that bubbliness, the roundness, and the density at a pretty young age as well. So Tonio is a guy that's going to be very hard to beat for years to come, as long as his posing's on point. Like this side chest, I'll be pulling the butt back a little bit more, pulling that waist in even more, creating that illusion more so. And same if you can, push the butt back a little bit this way on this side tricep, so the chest is over the midsection and not the other way, because he doesn't have a big waist at all. It's just that it would look even smaller if he's able to, flexibility-wise, do that. And obviously his back double is just next level. The density, absolutely wild. And you can see the details are coming through. Now this is a slightly, obviously there's like a filter on top of this video, but look at that waist, the shoulders, the legs. Like, it is just so impressive. I can't even explain. And you can see the waist is coming in, and that's one thing I've said to Tonio. He just looks like a cartoon character here. Time to get full again. I mean, Tonio's one of those guys that can flatten out and still look full. Absolute freak. Cannot wait to see it. And these are some physique updates that I featured recently, but I featured the bigger versions of those. So absolutely wild. And I do have some more New York Pro physique updates as well. And one of them is, Eric Wood, who I've recently had on the channel. And you guys can check out that interview, as well as the Stuart Sutherland one that is going up very soon. Beef Stew, as he was in the comments. He might still be watching. Oh, that's a very short physique update of what I saw. I must have seen another one on his Instagram, but you can see here the conditioning level of Eric Wood, and that's a very complete looking pose for a 27-year-old. And he'll be up against another good guy, another good young guy in Stuart Sutherland. So that's going to be super exciting. And Stuart's physique update recently was even accentuated more and is more impressive based off how good Hunter Labrada looked on stage next to all these other top pros, because Stuart looked really good on stage next to Hunter. Then Hunter looked really good on stage next to these other top pros. So I'm very excited for Stuart Sutherland's pro debut. Not his pro debut, his second pro show, but pro debut, sort of, at least in his eyes. But let's go back. Let's reshare this screen. And we can go to the results of the 2023 Pittsburgh. Actually, no, I've got one more, sorry for you guys. Robin Strand, who's looking crazy. Featured him on my channel recently. Coached by Dorian Hamilton. This is him 6 days out. Look at those quartered hamstrings. The glutes are in, the back's in. This is going to be Robin Strand's best by far. As long as Dorian is able to fill this guy out enough, it's going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be his most impressive physique by far. Will it be enough to like win a New York Pro? I'm not sure. But I mean, if I was just looking at this saying this guy's competing in New York Pro, do you reckon he can win? I'd be saying, yeah, for sure. But just knowing who else is there, it's hard to say. But he'll be predicted in my top 3 to 4. Absolutely. I can almost guarantee that. So he's looking very, very good. But let's go back to this and get to the results of the Pittsburgh Pro. I told you guys this is a big video, and I got even more after that. So the classic physique, Michael de Bull wins this contest. Looked really good, and I've got a video comparison of him in second place. And it was a close decision too, because we had 6 points to 9. So Michael de Bull finishes on 6, and then second place finishes on 9. And I'll go to him as well, a Brazilian guy, so he's obviously going to be popular, at least to some degree. But I'll go through all the results here. We've got Natalia Coelho that actually competes here. Miss Olympia, sort of went under the radar. Women's physique Miss Olympia. She wins this contest, which is awesome. I love to see it. She is the best ambassador anyone could ever imagine for women's physique, or for any division for that matter. She is positive beyond belief. She gets on and watches a bunch of these lives. You'll see her in the comments even on my videos. You'll see her on every other channel as well, watching the lives, commenting, jumping on channels, doing interviews, all that good stuff. And she's just so incredibly popular. She's Brazilian as well, which makes it more popular in Brazil. Just so happy that she's, you know, representing that class. And not to say that anyone prior to her was a bad representative, but she's just on another level, I think. So, I mean, Sarah Villegas was actually, I think, very good as well in many ways. But Natalia's just, I think she's the best in the business right now for me. And obviously Chris Bumstead, those two for sure. And here's some photos of Natalia. She just looks amazing. It's crazy that she's chosen to do this show. Look, that V-taper. Absolutely wild. She's going to be hard to beat on that women's physique Olympia stage. Absolutely. I think there's some video and stuff here as well by Gilco Productions. Cassandra Gillis as well. She's the women's physique Arnold Classic. Sorry, not women's physique. Women's wellness Arnold Classic champion. Actually got beaten here as well, which is a big news story, because obviously being the Arnold Classic champion, she'd be coming here probably expecting to win this show. She gets beaten out by, what's her name? I'm forgetting. I believe it was, I'm terrible. I feel bad because I'm doing this live, obviously. Her name's on the tip of my tongue. Oh my god, I'm forgetting her name. Where is it? Giselle Machados. I've obviously heard Tarek Elgindi talk about this one. She looks phenomenal. Like, her physique is so crazy. I'll go to is there photos of her here? I thought there would be on here. These are pro fitness photos as well. You can follow them on Instagram. Some very high quality stuff. And here she is, at least, anyway. Absolutely crazy physique. Insane. Let me know your thoughts on that as well if you do have an opinion. And moving on to the rest of the results from that show. We had Cherish Richardson winning in the figure, I believe it was. Looked phenomenal, wins her ticket to the Olympia. And then who else did we have? Corey Morris beats out, what's his name? Ryan Terry, who placed in second. And we've got a video as well that you guys might find interesting. I believe I've uploaded it. I hope I've uploaded it here. I haven't, but I will get that for you guys. But check this out. This is the top two from the classic physique. Now, Michael de Bull's on the left. Now, I thought that Michael de Bull was a clear winner here, in my opinion. His tan was better. I believe his posing was better overall. And you look at that, like, he's got a cinched waist, very aesthetic. I mean, taking nothing away from the second place finisher, but you can see, I'll just go back a little bit. When he's moving, see, it's a little bit awkward going the right. And I think classic comes down so much to posing. When you go front double bicep, I have Michael de Bull. Side chest, I have Michael de Bull. Back double bicep. This one's closer for me. I might have the other guy. Ab shot, Michael de Bull, much smaller waist there. And then the classic pose, Michael de Bull. So I was surprised that he actually lost any points, because that would mean one of the actually multiple of the judges would have had to have had this guy on the right winning. And I'll try to find his name as well. I believe Buys and Tries posted it up. Let me have a quick look for you guys. I'll just switch over to that one. Oh, and I want to mention as well, Amy Delgado. She wins the bikini, and she looked absolutely phenomenal. Ashley Colt also actually got beaten by her. So this one's going to probably be an Olympia contender, and I love her look. But I'll go on to Buys and Tries to get the results and get the second place finisher name as well for you guys, if it wants to load. Oh no, I'm actually on Buys and Tries here. Let's have a look. Second place finisher is Eric Wildberger, which is a cool name, in the classic physique. So, yeah, he looked phenomenal, but I don't think that he was in the same league as Michael de Bull, just in my opinion. So, let me know your thoughts on that decision. I had Michael de Bull. Let me know who you guys had in that one. Now, let's have a look and let's get to Derek Lunsford, who was guest posing at this contest. Actually, before I get to Derek Lunsford, I want to feature and give a shout out to Callum Hinz, who was actually on the show before this Pittsburgh Pro. We did a preview for the show to discuss his upcoming pro debut. I'll just share him onto the screen so you guys can see what he looked like. He's an absolute freak. Like, he's got a crazy, crazy physique. He actually finished in 11th. I've already got a raw deal, in my opinion, because he has such a great structure. He's in great condition, coached by Matt Jansen. Let me know your thoughts on him. I'll show you some more photos. This probably doesn't even do him justice as to his freaky, crazy shape. And his partner as well just recently turned pro. This is his side chest shot here. He's got about 7 pounds to play with. And Matt Jansen happy with this bro. So he was obviously happy with the pro debut. And let me find some... Check this out. The dude has no waist. Like, yeah, he can add more muscle overall, but he's tall as well. So when he stands next to other guys on stage, he did not look small. So I don't know what more they wanted from him. I mean, you compare it to Michael de Bull, there's a level of density that he needs to bring to the stage. This is a flat version 4 days out too. So you can imagine once he filled out, he looked absolutely crazy. I saw him in the lineup. He looked very good. So I think it's a matter of time for Callum, but I think he's going to do very well. And if you go back and listen to that episode, let me know if you want to see more of Callum on the channel. So you can see him here. Look at that structure, the roundness of the quads next to these other guys. Like, to me, he's the clear best there for sure. He's doing the New York Pro as well. 1 kilo up from Pittsburgh Pro, 6 days out. You can see his physique. And do we have anything else? Any other photos? and he's in New York now, so he is going to be ready for that New York Pro, and I can't wait to see if he moves up or not, and let me know your thoughts if this guy should be moving up in that regard. But I want to discuss Derek Lunsford, who looked absolutely crazy, and I'm wondering if you guys think this is our next Mr. Olympia after Hadi Choopan. We've got Mark's Max Muscle in the conversation. And yeah, this is probably hurting my live a little bit. He says Dave and Chris are live at the same time. Theirs is a premiere, so theirs is actually pre-recorded. So stay on this one. But shout out to Mark's Max Muscle doing great work over there on his channel as well. And Lunsford for the win, says F1 fanatic. Fanatic? Sorry. But I'm actually going to be starting an F1 channel potentially. So F1 fanatic? Fanatic? Yeah, I suppose it's fanatic, but spelled different. But yeah, I love F1. Love F1. Reppin' Oz. No, shout out, my man. But let's go through this. I wanted to analyze this a little bit more because Derek Lunsford looks wild. And from the people there, they said he was the most impressive. People were gasping. People were the loudest for Derek Lunsford. Now, let me know if you guys want me to compare this version at the Pittsburgh Pro to last year's version as well. And I'll happily do that. But look at those lats. They almost look sore because they come right in at the top where it inserts to his arms. And then look how it comes outwards and then goes back in. And then you look at his rib cage. His waist is small. Someone said to me that his legs are small. His quads are small. I had 2 people say yesterday. I don't know what video you guys are looking at because these are not small quads to me. They just aren't. Like, I can understand someone saying it maybe about Brandon Currey, but Derek Lunsford, I say absolutely not. He's got a small knee structure, like, small joints, which I think looks better. Can make it look not as big overall, but it looks next level to me. Now, F1 Fanatic makes a good point in the comments as well. Thank you, Mark's Max Muscle. I mean, I love Dave and Chris, so always head back over and watch those guys. They're awesome. So F1 Fanatic, obviously a fan of Hadi Choopan as well. Garrett Johnson, I will be comparing the two. So is he really any better than last year? I won't say yet, but I do compare the two. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Hadi will be diced. Phil Heath might come back. Phil's not coming back at the Olympia, I don't believe, next year. Maybe if he gets paid a huge amount of muscle. Huge amount of money. I was reading muscle at the same time. And F1 Fanatic believes Hadi #1. Oh, cool. Mark's Max Muscle. We did that comparison between Derek 2022 and 2023. Sweet, man. I won't bring it up in this one because I've been live for almost 30 minutes. I'm trying to keep these a little bit succinct, but I'll definitely give a shout out when I get that other video up as well. I've got to find that footage from last year, all the best footage I can find. And F1 Fanatic says 2 Lunsford, 3rd Walker. So the reason why I might say Hadi might win the 2023 Mr. Olympia is from like this pose, for example. You look at Derek's chest and his arms. Will his arms and chest be hard enough? Every other part of his physique, and shoulders as well, we can say too. Every other part of his physique is hard. Like you look at his back, you look at his glutes, you look at his hammies, you look at his quads, they are all conditioned enough. But like this comes in hard. We know these areas come in hard. His glutes are like inside out. You can see there's almost lines through those trunks there. The back is so muscular and so huge. It's just, will the rest be conditioned as this, And it doesn't matter if his arms aren't conditioned from the back, to be honest, because the rest is so crazy that it's just game over. The rear lat spread is wild. I think from the back, he's going to win the Olympia almost hands down. But I'm looking at this. Like, you look at how good that most muscular looks. Like, to me, that's wild, I can imagine this just more conditioned overall. And if he can bring the fullness with the conditioning, I think that he's going to win. And some people still, like F1 Fanatic saying Derek looks watery and open. Hadi looks more like a Roman statue. But I think it's a combination, obviously. Little man's legs. I mean, he's a short little man. He's not that short. He was tallish for 212 at least anyway. Mark's Max Muscle. Derek's legs look short in the front shots, but not small. Yeah, agree. They're obviously shorter, but I still think that they're crazy. And he's pretty balanced top to bottom, I think. He's not... I mean, that's probably what gives him that I think Nick Walker's legs maybe look a little bit shorter. I think that's reasonably balanced. And I think that if his upper body was any shorter, then I think that this wouldn't look as crazy and as wow, in my opinion. Just in my opinion. But let me know your thoughts on that. I should put up a poll, but I might put up a poll in the community tab on desktop bodybuilding, so keep an eye out for that one. And as we've just ticked over 30 minutes, guys, my voice is getting tired and I'm going to wrap this one up. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Daily Bodybuilding News Live. A lot going on in bodybuilding, and make sure you do give this video a thumbs up, smash that like button, but also subscribe. That's the important thing, because we have the upcoming shows this weekend. The New York Pro, I'm going to be going live for that. The Cali Pro next weekend, I'm going to be going live for that. But I believe the next weekend, it's for Toronto as well. I'm going to be going live for that. So make sure you do subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the coverage and everything I've got going up from desktop bodybuilding. I've seen a few comments just come through. Let me have a look. Peace out, Mark's Max Muscle. Peace out, F1 Fanatic. Peace out. I can't say that name. There's an word in it. Peace out, the Red Loop. Samson and Jack to coming fire. Crohn's Lifter. Thank you, Xavier. Be easy all. Absolutely. F1 Fanatic. Great stuff. Lady Yo, done and dusted. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate the support of the desktoppers. And for myself, Xavier Wills, this is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.